Welcome to episode 22 of 2 Cents Tuesday. In 2014, when I served in the Senate of the Government of St. Lucia, a statutory instrument, or SI as we call them, was tabled in the name of the then minister with responsibility for transport to amend the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Regulations, Chapter 8.01 of the Laws of St. Lucia. This statutory instrument, number 34 of 2014, as it was numbered, amended Regulation 3 of the Principal Act to make it possible for owners of private motor vehicles or motorcycles to register these vehicles with personalized license plates. The amendment in the statutory instrument that was passed in 2014 says, and I quote, "A personalized license plate shall bear upon it letters and numbers approved by the licensing authority, which may consist of 1, in the case of a private motor vehicle, a combination of 2 to 8 letters and numbers, and 2, in the case of a private motorcycle, a combination of 2 to 5 letters and numbers," end of quote. The primary, in fact, only reason for this amendment was to create a new revenue stream for the government, because these personalized license plates cost more to register than the normal numbers that we have always used. While statutory instrument number 34 of 2014 makes the personalized license plate possible, how these plates look are governed by the Principal Act, that is Chapter 8.01 of the Laws of St. Lucia. That act is accompanied by the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Registration Regulations, a mouthful. The regulations clearly state, 1, all numbers and letters must be 3.5 inches high. Every part of every letter and figure must be 5/8 of an inch broad, and the total width of the space taken by every letter and number, except in the case of the figure 1, must be 2.5 inches. 2, the space between adjoining figures must be 1/2 inch, and there must be a margin between the nearest part of any letter or number and the top and bottom of the plate of at least 1/2 inch of any letter or number, and the size of the plate of at least 1 inch. And 3, there must be a margin between the nearest part of any letter or number and the size of the plate of at least 1 inch. So clearly, there are very distinct regulations on how these plates should look. However, several of the personalized license plates that I see on our roads clearly do not conform to these regulations. I see vehicles with license plates with numbers in all types of fancy fonts, cursive writing, italics, you name it. On a few of these license plates, you are hard-pressed to figure out what is written. As far as I know, the license plate on a vehicle serves 2 very important purposes. The first is to give each vehicle a unique visible identifier, which can then be linked back to a central database to provide more detailed information on the vehicle to the relevant authorities. The second purpose is to allow for the identification of that vehicle should it be involved in a traffic accident, some other transgression of the law, like failing to stop at a red light or speeding or hit and run or anything like that, or if it is used for some other illegal activity. Therefore, the plate is not simply a vanity plate that can be accessorized or glammed up as the owner of the vehicle wishes. It is an important identification number, which must be clearly visible. This situation is not confined to the personalized license plates. I have seen some license plates that contain only numbers, which are themselves difficult to read because of the type and size of the font that is used. I do not know why I continue to get the sense, the feeling, that St. Lucia is a country, is a place where anything goes. A place where we have laws and regulations that are honored more in the breach than the observance. And my apologies there to the Shakespeare purists for deliberately mangling the words and intent of Hamlet. But that's what it looks like, that we have laws that really the only reason we have them is to break them, certainly not to enforce them. So it's not that we do not have laws, it is that we simply refuse to enforce them. In the current environment, I think that it is important that we fix some of these broken windows, and you'll understand that reference from an earlier podcast that I did on crime, that exists all around us, particularly the ones that convey the impression that we are a country that does not care about law, order, or discipline. As I'm fond of saying, And I will continue to say, we can do better. Let's do better. Thank you for viewing another 2 Cents Tuesday. Have a good week. Goodbye.